Welcome to Tiny Tales, where little stories bring big smiles.
The Whispering Shell. On a sunny day, Mia walked along the beach with her bare feet sinking in the warm sand. Suddenly, she spotted something shiny, half buried near the waves. It was a seashell, spiraled, smooth, and glowing softly in the sunlight. Mia picked up the shell and held it close to her ear. At first, she thought she only heard the ocean's roar, but then whispers. Gentle voices floated from inside the shell. "Hello, little one," the voices sang. "We are the stories of the sea." Mia's eyes sparkled. Stories? Inside a shell. That night, when she listened again, the shell told her about playful dolphins racing through the waves. She could almost see them leap and splash, laughing as they swam. The next day, the shell whispered a story about a tiny crab who carried a pearl across the ocean floor. Mia imagined the crab's little legs scurrying over sand and coral. Every day, the shell shared a new tale about starfish, sea turtles, and even a wise old whale who sang songs to guide the ships. Mia listened carefully, her heart filling with wonder, and slowly she found herself telling the stories too, sharing them with her friends, her family, and even the seagulls on the shore. One evening, as the sun set in golden colors, Mia whispered back into the shell, "Thank you for teaching me. I have a story to tell now, too." The shell glowed softly in her hands, and Mia knew that everyone, just like the ocean, carries a story worth sharing. Every voice has a tale to tell. Sasha and the Talking Shoes. Sasha felt bored and unsure of herself. Her shoes were old, and she didn't feel like going anywhere. Suddenly, the shoes wiggled and spoke. "Hi, Sasha. We're your shoes, and today we're taking you on an adventure." Sasha slipped them on and took a step outside. Step, step. Sasha, believe in yourself. The garden path looked long, but each step felt lighter. A puppy barked in front of her. Sasha felt nervous. "Be kind. Be brave." Sasha bent down and gently patted the puppy, who wagged its tail and let her pass. "What if I get lost?" "One step at a time, and the path will show itself." She found a stream with stepping stones. "Jump! Jump! You can do it!" With a big hop, Sasha crossed to the other side. A little bird chirped above her. Sasha waved. "See? Friends appear when you keep moving forward." The hill looked steep. Sasha puffed and huffed, but the shoes encouraged her. "Step by step, you are strong." At last she reached the top. The view was bright and beautiful. "I did it. I found my way." "Yes, believe in yourself and every step takes you forward." Sasha happily skipped back home, feeling proud and brave. Remember, Sasha, trust your steps and you can go anywhere. Believe in yourself. Every big adventure starts with just one small step. Laya and the Rainbow Umbrella. It was a grey, rainy day, and everyone looked a little sad. But Laya, with her cheerful boots, loved the rain. Then, what's that under the tree? A sparkling, colourful umbrella. Laya opened the umbrella slowly, and magically the grey rain turned into rainbow drops. The children gasped with surprise, and even a little bird turned colourful and sang. Laya twirled and laughed, letting rainbow drops fall all around. She ran to her friends hiding under the roof and shared the magic. Splash! Rainbow drops fell on the flowers, and they bloomed instantly. Soon the whole town brightened with colors. Children danced in rainbow puddles, and everyone smiled. The gray park turned into a beautiful rainbow garden. Joy was everywhere. The rain slowed down, but the rainbow shined across the sky. Lila closed her magical umbrella and smiled. Her friends gathered around, saying, "Thank you, Lila." Happiness was shared, and it made everyone's hearts glow. Because joy is like a rainbow. It's brightest when shared with others. And from that day on, Lila and her friends always knew. Sharing happiness makes the world a colorful place. The Kindness Train. Once upon a time, there was a little train named Tilly. She wasn't the fastest train or the biggest, but she had the biggest heart. Every morning, Tilly chugged along her tracks, saying, "Chug, chug. Who needs a hand today?" One day, she saw a tired bunny trying to hop across the tracks with a heavy basket of carrots. "Hop aboard," said Tilly. She gave the bunny a ride, and the bunny squeaked, "Thank you, Tilly. You're the kindest train." Further down the track, Tilly noticed a patch of flowers drooping in the sun. She puffed gently, letting her cool steam blow over them. "Ah, thank you," whispered the flowers. "We feel fresh again." Next, a squirrel dropped his acorns one by one. "Need a lift?" asked Tilly. The squirrel smiled. "With you, nothing is too heavy." Later, she met a big, strong train who was stuck on the tracks. "Don't worry," said little Tilly. "I'll give you a push." At first, she thought she was too small, but with every kind thought in her heart, she pushed harder and harder, until the big train started moving again. The big train smiled. "You may be small, Tilly, but your kindness makes you strong." By the end of the day, Tilly was tired, but her heart felt light and warm. She realized something wonderful. When you share kindness with others, it always comes back to you, making you even stronger. And from that day on, all the animals, flowers, and trains knew her as the Kindness Train. Pip the Penguin Painter. Deep in the South Pole, where the wind whispers through the snow, lived a colony of penguins. They all looked the same, sounded the same, and even waddled the same. But one little penguin was different. His name was Pip. Pip loved to look closely at everything around him. The shimmer of the ice, the sparkle of snowflakes, the tiny hints of color in the sunlight. The world isn't just white, he thought. It's full of hidden colors. One chilly morning, Pip made a discovery. By squishing berries, melting seaweed, and mixing squid ink, he created colors, bright, beautiful colors. Red like fire, blue like the sea, and green like seaweed. "Now I can paint the world," Pip cheered to himself. Pip began painting a small iceberg near his nest. He splashed pinks, swirled blues, and dotted yellows until the ice looked like a rainbow. The other penguins stopped and stared. No one had ever seen anything like it before. "Icebergs are supposed to be white," some whispered. Others giggled. But one little penguin chick clapped her flippers and shouted, "It's beautiful." Pip's heart filled with warmth, even in the freezing air. That night, Pip sat under the stars, staring at his colorful iceberg. He wondered if he had done the right thing. "Maybe I should just be like everyone else," he sighed. But the stars twinkled back at him. each one shining in its own special color. Pip smiled. Maybe being different isn't bad after all. The next morning, Pip had a big idea. "I'll paint the biggest iceberg in the colony," he said. So he worked all day, brushing and splashing, painting with joy. Swirls of sunshine yellow, ocean blue, and berry red filled the icy world. By sunset, the iceberg glowed like a rainbow mountain. But then, the sky turned gray, the wind howled. A great blizzard swept across the land, covering everything in snow. Pip watched helplessly as his beautiful painting disappeared beneath thick white flakes. "All my colors gone," he whispered sadly. When the storm finally passed, the world was silent again. Snow stretched as far as Pip could see. Everything looked white and plain. He sighed, feeling invisible among the crowd. "Maybe the world was never meant to be colorful," he murmured. But just then the first rays of sunrise touched the ice. Slowly the snow began to melt, and something magical happened. Beneath the frost, Pip's colors began to shine through, brighter than ever before. Reds, purples, and greens sparkled across the ice like jewels. The other penguins gasped in wonder. "Look! Pip's colors are glowing." They cheered. Soon everyone was laughing and dancing around the colorful iceberg. Some even dipped their flippers in Pip's paints to make their own designs. The cold white world had turned into a land of color and joy. Pip smiled proudly as he watched his friends paint and play. "Being different isn't strange," he said softly. "It's special." From that day on, Pip became known as Pip the Penguin Painter, the penguin who taught his colony that creativity brings color to the world. So remember, just like Pip, be proud of your colors. Be proud of your creativity. Be proud of you, because the world needs your sparkle. The Magic Music Box. Once upon a time, in a little house at the edge of town, a curious child went exploring in the dusty old attic. Boxes, toys, and memories were tucked away beneath layers of dust. And then, there it was. A tiny wooden box, carved with little music notes that shimmered in the light. The child picked it up carefully. What could this be? They wondered. They turned the little handle and suddenly music. It floated into the air, light as a feather, warm as sunshine. Colors danced around the room, and the child couldn't help but smile. Then giggle, then twirl. The child ran downstairs to show their family. As the box played, everyone's faces lit up. Dad started clapping, Mum spun around the kitchen, and even the dog tried to dance. The music filled every corner of the house, and every heart too. The next day, the child brought the box outside. Neighbors stopped to listen. Then someone smiled, then another. Before long, the whole street was swaying and spinning together. Flowers seemed to bloom faster, the sun shone brighter, and the town felt happier than it had in years. All from one little box and one big smile. As the sun set, the child sat quietly, holding the music box close. They realized something wonderful. Joy isn't meant to stay inside. It grows when you share it, just like the music that made everyone dance. And from that day on, wherever the magic music played, happiness followed. Happiness grows when shared. The Sleepy Dragon's Cozy Adventure. Once upon a time, in a quiet and sparkly forest, there lived a gentle dragon named Drowsy. Drowsy wasn't fierce or fiery. Oh no. He was soft, kind, and very, very sleepy. All he wanted was a nice long nap. Every morning, he'd curl up inside his cozy cave, surrounded by pillows, shiny crystals, and a warm cup of cocoa. He would sigh happily and drift off to dreamland. Outside the cave, Drowsy's friends played in the sunny meadow: Bunny Bella, Squirrel Sunny, and Bird Pip. They laughed and chased butterflies, while Drowsy snored softly in the distance. "He's always napping," giggled Sunny the squirrel. "Too sleepy to play," chirped Pip. They didn't mean to tease. They just didn't understand that Drowsy liked quiet things best. But one blustery afternoon, dark clouds rolled in. Whoosh! Went the wind. Pip's kite flew high into the sky, higher and higher, until it got tangled in the tallest oak tree. "Oh no, my kite!" cried Pip. Bunny and Squirrel tried to help, but the tree was just too tall. They looked at each other and whispered, maybe Drowsy can help." The friends tiptoed into Drowsy's cave. "Drowsy," said Bunny softly, "we need your help." Drowsy blinked one sleepy eye open. Can it wait until after my nap?" he mumbled. "My kite's stuck in the big oak tree," Pip sniffled. Drowsy stretched and yawned so big that tiny sparks floated from his nose. "Oh, the tall one?" he said. He rubbed his eyes and smiled gently. "All right, friends. Let's see what we can do." Outside, the wind blew through the trees. Drowsy looked up. The kite was way, way up there. He flapped his little wings, but they were more for decoration than flying. So he started to climb. Slowly, carefully, one claw at a time. His friends cheered from below. "You can do it, Drowsy." Halfway up, Drowsy peeked down and felt a flutter in his belly. "It's okay," he whispered to himself. "Just one more step." Finally, he reached the top and gently untangled the kite with his tail. "Got it," he said proudly. Everyone below cheered. "Hooray for Drowsy!" As the clouds drifted away, a rainbow stretched across the sky. Drowsy floated back down and handed Pip the kite. "You're so brave," said Bunny. Drowsy blinked in surprise. "Brave? But I'm just sleepy." Pip smiled. "You didn't need to roar or fight. You helped, and that's what makes you brave." Drowsy's heart felt warm and fluttery. Maybe being brave wasn't about being loud. Maybe it was about being kind. That evening, Drowsy snuggled back into his cozy cave. His friends curled up beside him, and Pip's kite hung proudly on the wall. The forest was quiet again, and the stars twinkled softly overhead. Drowsy yawned one last time and whispered, "Good night, my friends." And as he drifted off to sleep, the forest sparkled with dreams of gentle courage. Because courage comes in many shapes, even sleepy ones.
Ellie and the Cloud Hat. One bright morning, Ellie was playing in the park. She loved to imagine things. Castles, dragons, treasure hunts. But today her imagination felt a little quiet. Then she saw it. A tiny cloud, floating low in the sky, bobbing gently like a balloon. "Hello," Ellie whispered. The cloud wiggled, as if it was waving hello back. Ellie giggled. "You're such a funny little cloud. I wish I had a hat like you." And just like that, poof, the cloud puffed, swirled, and landed right on her head, turning into a sparkly crown. "Oh, I'm a princess now!" Ellie twirled and laughed. But before she could finish her royal dance, the crown began to change again. Whoosh! It stretched into a pirate hat. "I'm Captain Ellie," she said in her best pirate voice. The cloud shimmered happily, swirling once more into a tall, floppy wizard hat. "Whoa!" Ellie gasped. "Now I'm a wizard!" "Magic Cloud, you're amazing!" The little cloud twinkled proudly on her head. Ellie spent the whole morning imagining new hats. A chef's hat, a rainbow cap, even a silly hat shaped like a cupcake. Then her friends came running into the park. "Ellie, what's that on your head?" they shouted. "It's a cloud hat," Ellie said. "It can be anything you imagine. Want to try?" Her friends' eyes grew wide. One thought of flowers. Poof! The cloud became a flower crown. Another imagined dragons. Whoosh! It turned into a dragon helmet. A third whispered, "I want fairy sparkles." And just like that, the cloud made a shiny fairy hat that glittered in the sunlight. The kids laughed and clapped. The cloud danced above them, splitting into smaller puffs, so everyone could wear one. And soon the whole park was full of magic hats. Pirates, wizards, princesses, chefs, fairies, astronauts, all giggling and playing together. The little cloud glowed brighter and brighter, swirling into a rainbow shape above them. It shimmered softly, as if to say, "Thank you for sharing me." Ellie looked up and smiled. "You're welcome," she whispered. It's even more fun when we all imagine together. As the sun began to set, the cloud floated up into the pink sky. "Goodbye, Cloud Hat," the children called. "Come back soon." The cloud puffed into a heart shape, then drifted away, glowing gently. And from that day on, whenever Ellie and her friends looked up at the clouds, they imagined hats, crowns, and magic adventures waiting to begin. Because imagination grows best when you share it. Luna and the Night Flowers. Luna loved her garden more than anything. Every morning she watered the flowers, whispered secrets to them, and smiled as they swayed in the breeze. But one day she noticed something new. Tiny buds hiding in the corner where the sunlight barely touched. "These must be shy little flowers," Luna said softly. They didn't open during the day, no matter how bright the sun was. Luna wondered, when will they bloom? What are they waiting for? That night, when the moon rose high, Luna couldn't sleep. She peeped out her window and gasped. Silver light spilled across her garden like a blanket of magic. "Maybe they bloom under the moon," she whispered. Luna tiptoed outside in her slippers. The air was cool and calm. Then, right before her eyes, one of the buds began to open. It glowed softly, shimmering like a tiny star. One by one, the others joined in, filling the garden with silver blue light. "Oh," Luna breathed. "You're the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen." The flowers seemed to dance with the wind, glowing brighter and brighter. Luna sat among them, her face lit by their light. It felt like the moon was smiling down just for her. When the sun rose, the flowers were gone. Well, not gone exactly, just closed up tight. Luna frowned. "Where did your glow go?" she whispered sadly. Later that day, Luna sat under her favourite tree and thought. Then she smiled. "You're not gone," she said. "You're just waiting for your special time." She realised something important. Every flower, just like every person, shines in their own way, at their own time. That night, Luna went back outside. The moon was high again, and so were her glowing friends. She twirled among the flowers, laughing softly. "You're perfect," she whispered. "Just the way you are." And the flowers glowed even brighter.
The Snail's Big Race. It was a bright and sunny morning in the meadow. The flowers danced in the breeze, and all the animals were gathered for one very special event, the Big Meadow Race. Rabbits, frogs, beetles, and even a caterpillar lined up at the starting line. They stretched, bounced, and wiggled, ready to race as fast as they could. But among them stood one tiny, shiny snail named Sam. The animals gasped. "A snail! In a race?" giggled the rabbit. Sam just smiled and said, "I may be slow, but I'll give it my best." The bird referee lifted his wing high. "On your marks, get set, go!" And off they went. The rabbit shot forward, the frog leapt high, and the beetle zoomed away. But Sam, he took one careful sticky step, then another and another. Soon the other racers were far ahead, but Sam kept his steady pace. "Slow and steady," he whispered to himself. His silver trail shimmered behind him in the morning light. The path grew rocky and rough. To the others, they were just tiny pebbles. But to Sam, they looked like tall, icy mountains. Still, he didn't stop. Bit by bit, he climbed over each one, his shell shining proudly in the sun. Far ahead, the rabbit began to feel sleepy. "I'm so fast. I can take a nap," he said, curling up under a flower. The frog got distracted chasing butterflies, and the beetle rolled himself right into a bush. But Sam didn't stop. He kept moving, slow, steady, and smiling all the way. The gentle breeze hummed a little tune just for him. Then soft raindrops began to fall. The other animals hurried for cover. But Sam loved the rain. "Ah," he sighed, "perfect racing weather." The cool drops helped him glide faster across the wet leaves. On his way, Sam saw the beetle stuck on his back, wiggling his legs in the air. "Hold on, I'll help you," said Sam kindly. With one gentle push, he flipped the beetle upright again. "Thank you, Sam," the beetle cheered. "No problem," said Sam. "We'll all finish together someday." As night fell, the meadow grew quiet. Fireflies lit the air like tiny floating stars. Most of the racers had gone to sleep, but Sam was still moving. Step by step, through the moonlight, he inched closer to the finish line. When the morning sun rose again, Sam was nearly there. The animals yawned and stretched, surprised to see the little snail still racing. "Look, he's almost at the finish line," cried the frog. And with one final slide, Sam crossed it. He had finished the big meadow race. The crowd cheered and clapped. "You did it, Sam," said the rabbit. "You may be slow, but you never gave up." Sam smiled proudly. "I told you," he said. "Slow and steady still reaches the goal." The animals nodded. They had all learned something new that day. From then on, everyone in the meadow remembered Sam the snail. He showed them that patience, kindness, and effort matter more than speed. Because no matter how slow you go, if you keep trying, you'll get there in the end. Patience and effort matter more than speed. Keep going. Slow and steady always wins your own race.
Thanks for watching, Tiny Tales. Don't forget, every story is brighter when shared.